The resources that are available in the world are expanding, but the idea that there's this place you come to that's a point of contact with all that, I think that is enduring.
Libraries are really not about books. Libraries are about ideas.
Libraries are about knowledge, they're about service, they're about offering people access to resources that cover the entire world.
The spaces need to be lively and beautiful and calming, and the materials need to be engaging.
When I think back to when I was going to the library, when I was preteen and teenager, it was quiet, it was musty, you couldn't make too much noise.
It was tall stacks of narrow aisles with books to the ceiling.
It was always, shh, you can't talk, you can't put your feet up, you can't take a book off the shelf unless you really intend to take it.
The Bennett Library is in a rural community, and I think that they have been used to a very traditional library.
Well, we were in a very small building. It was a metal building on the outside, concrete block on the inside.
When I started in 1969, everything was still paper.
The way we learned was basically word-oriented and print-oriented, and now learning is really media-oriented.
The libraries of our childhood are no longer viable, and the public library is not just a little nice building in a community anymore. It's actually the center of the community. It's where people come to meet. It's where people come to get ideas. It's where kids come to relax and have fun with their families.
We envisioned as a board that our libraries would be community living rooms, that people would feel welcome and safe and able to try new things.
We just think that libraries should be really easy to use, and we think that Dewey Decimal is an obstacle.
So we decided to dump Dewey. Now, I think we're probably the first library that's done that. So we're more on the bookstore kind of concept.
So when somebody walks into the bookstore, it's really easy to just find your way around.
In other words, you go to the mysteries and you browse mysteries. You go to the home improvement, you browse home improvement till you find what you want.
You can see around. It's organized by title instead of Dewey Decimal. It's just fantastic feeling.
I do believe that moving away from Dewey Decimal is going to make life a lot easier for everyone.
Now we're going to be able to offer the space. We're going to be offer even more services and more books, more programs.
We're going to be having classes so people can learn how to become multimedia communicators.
Now we have large screen TVs where we can start offering movies.
There's a community table at the end that we can do book clubs. Nice meeting room space where we have lots of versatility, meetings for the community. People can have weddings, you can have parties.
And the porch on the south side is where we hope that people can sit out in comfortable chairs and use wireless internet.
We have books on CD. We have DVDs.
There's all of these little places tucked in the back where you can play a video game, or you can sit by the fire and read, or you can, go sit by a window and listen to some music. So I love that idea that you can sneak away from everyone else and play a video game in the library.
The children's department, they have discovery zones. They have a really innovative play space where we can do story hour, we can do puppet shows, the kids can play with pillows, they can watch a movie. The teen space, they have their own private little area where they can play Wii, they can play video games, they can have a quiet space in there, so it's really versatile.
We've decided to include gaming in our community center. We feel it's another way that the community can interact.
They bought the Wii's in for the teens, but the seniors like to do Wii because it's really great physical activity.
Another thing we want to do is offer Dance Dance Revolution that the kids can exercise, maybe start having multi-generational tournaments.
Having video games in the library is a different kind of learning. It's a different kind of experience.
This gives children who don't necessarily have access to computers the opportunity to see video games, see DVDs. I think it's wonderful.
It's going to be full of people having a lot of fun, as opposed to just a place where it's really quiet, you just check out a book.
As libraries try to create ways for the community to use them more, They also are trying to figure out a way of using less in terms of energy.
Everything that you were talking about that is different from a normal library, that's the service vision that this library district is bringing to us to work with. And so, you know, when they want a room full of low shelving that feels like a bookstore and we can build it out of wood, that's coming from the workshop of a local craftsman, and then that's a chance to implement a vision that's on it is on a broader scale than you usually get to work with.
The Bennett Library is going to be a greener, more sustainable library. Some of the things that we incorporated into it were the roof pitch was designed to fit on the prairie, but it was also designed so it could accommodate solar panels. The building is going to be heated and cooled using a geothermal heat pump system, which will cut down on the energy consumption for the building for many, many years.
The way the light is designed in the building, it minimizes the amount of electricity.
We also used resources from Colorado that otherwise would be thrown away, such as the beetle kill pine, which are the ceilings throughout the building, the wall paneling as you enter into the library.
Anytime you do that, you're taking the carbon of that tree embodied and you're putting it in the building where it's going to stay there for 50 years, we hope, or 100 years, or however long that this building endures.
We have other materials throughout the library, whether it be the carpeting, the countertops, that are all of recycled quality, and most importantly, at the end of their life, can be recycled again. So there's an ongoing continuation of this environmental ethic about this building.
Everything about the whole building, which is 7,000 square feet, it's like a large house actually, is built so that it'll minimize our electricity costs in the future.
We're hopeful that when people come into this building, they'll see these demonstrations of this environmental ethic that then they can go home or into their church or into their schools and perpetuate it so that, that the library becomes the seed that plants these design principles that can be used in their own life and other aspects. Ultimately, what you see in this building is the result of individuals, very talented, very bright, very creative individuals that had some great ideas on how to change the delivery of library services in the community.
It's the grand opening of our brand new library. It's just a momentous occasion for us. And based on the turnout today, that this has been very well received, that residents are very excited about it, and from the comments I heard inside, everybody loves it.
It's not like any library I have ever seen. It's really quite expansive. It has a lot of books, and I love the children's area.
It's amazing the amount of room they have inside for as small as the building looks from the outside. It's gorgeous, and it's very well laid out.
It's just fantastic feeling. My library was nice, but this is certainly superior.
It's a wonderful addition to our community.